cats, cute and cuddly, or mean and evil, or both. Humans have been obsessed with cats for a very long time. Scroll around on any video platform and you'll see cat videos, memes, and GIFs everywhere. Cats have also played a large role in myth and folklore, and today, we're going to be taking a look at a cat that can steal your soul. Hi everybody, my name is Brett, and this is The Fantasy Historian, a channel that uncovers the history behind our favorite fantasy elements, characters, and creatures across different media. I am also compiling a bestiary of all our favorite creatures across different IPs. As always, I like to start by giving a summary taken from the most relevant monster manual or compendium to get a picture on how the creature is used in fantasy. For the Cait Shìth, I will be using familiar Folio from the Pathfinder player companion. When we think of a Cait Shìth, what do we imagine? Taking a look at the illustration in the book, we see an ordinary black cat. But don't be fooled, this black cat has a white spot on its chest, green eyes, and is notably standing on its hind legs. A full moon behind its head gives us an idea that this cat is more than what it may appear. Taking a look at the monster sheet, I skipped the specific stats in favor of abilities that can make a callback to history and give us an understanding of what the creature can do. I will note, however, that it has a challenge rating, or danger level as I like to call it, of 2 out of 30. It is a tiny magical beast, feline, with an alignment or temperament of chaotic neutral. It has dark vision of 60 feet, low light vision, and sea invisibility, which is super handy. Looking at the traits, or in this case, feats and skills. Feats. Ability focus on its false curse ability, making it more difficult to resist, and stealthy, granting a +2 bonus on escape artist skill and stealth skill checks. Skills. Bluff, escape artist, perception, and stealth. Actions, which are found under the offense section. There's 3 of them. 1. Melee, 2 claw attack and a bite. 2. Special attack, false curse, which we'll get to shortly. And 3. Spell-like abilities. Constant, sea invisibility, as mentioned. Next up, 3 per day, a Cait Shìth can use the following abilities. Number 1, Ghost Sound. A cantrip that creates auditory illusions like footsteps, shouts, environmental sounds. That's awesome. I like that. Number 2, Hypnotism. Causes creatures to stop and stare blankly and make your suggestions more plausible. Number 3, Magic Aura. Alters an item's or spell's magical aura, making it harder to detect. And the last new ability, once per week, Rest Eternal. Ooh, this is very important to us historically. You place a curse upon a dead creature that bars its spirit from returning. Anyone casting a spell that would communicate with the dead creature, return it to life, or turn it into an undead creature must succeed on a caster level check with a DC of 11 plus your caster level. Rest Eternal cannot be dispelled, but it can be negated with Remove Curse or Break Enchantment. Pathfinder has an Ecology box here, which we're going to revisit later on. Special abilities. False Curse, and the SU there stands for supernatural abilities which are not considered spells. Once per day, a Cait Shìth can fool a creature into believing it has been cursed by the Cait Shìth's black magic. The target must be within 60 feet and must be able to see the Cait Shìth to be affected by the false curse. Will DC 15 negates. An affected creature takes a -4 penalty on attack rolls, saving throws, ability checks, and skill checks, as if affected by Bestow Curse. Because this effect is not a true curse, the target gains a new saving throw to end the effect at the beginning of each day. This is a language-dependent, mind-affecting effect that can be affected by Remove Curse. The save DC is Charisma-based. No luck. A creature hit by a Cait Shìth's claws must succeed at a DC 13 will save, or be stricken with lucklessness. For 1d4 rounds, the affected creature cannot benefit from any luck bonuses. The save DC is Charisma based. In the lore we read, Cait Shìth are inscrutable feline creatures that inhabit highlands around towns and cities. They resemble common house cats at a glance, but Cait Shìth are supernatural beings that have the cunning of civilized races and strange magical powers rivaling those of Fae. They're capable of easily walking balanced on just their hind legs and wearing magic boots.
Donkey, look at him in his wee little boots.
They can carry one object in their front paws when walking bipedally, though they can't manipulate such objects with the fine control required to use weapons, wands, and similar objects. Unpredictable, yet sophisticated, these strange beings use their unassuming appearances to infiltrate civilized areas, either serving as spies for powerful spellcasters, or entertaining their own unknowable agendas. Many cultures fear Cait Shìth and tell myths about their otherworldly powers. Some say that letting a Cait Shìth near an unburied corpse may allow the beast to steal the departed soul before it has made it to the great beyond. A 7th level spellcaster, that's really high, with the improved familiar feat, can gain a Cait Shìth as a familiar. Cait Shìths are heavier than most house cats, weighing between 25 and 30 pounds. A Cait Shìth is nearly 2 feet long from its nose to the base of its tail. Alright, this is a wicked cool familiar. Stealthy, deceptive, powerful. This is such a cool cat, I love this. An interesting entry like that in the monster manual, we know that this is going to be a fascinating history lesson. It's time to take a deep dive into history to see how much of this creature is pulled from folklore, and to do that, we need to travel to the region where it all started. Scotland and Ireland, here we go. Since ancient times, cats have held a significant role in mythology, folklore, and superstitions. From deities and guardians to demons and witches, from good luck to bad luck. Starting with the name, we read in the book The Gaelic Otherworld, Superstitions of the Highlands and Islands of Scotland by John Gregerson, quote, "In any account of Gaelic superstition and popular belief, the first and most prominent place is to be assigned to the fairy or elfin people, or as they are called both in Irish and Scottish Gaelic, the Sidhe people. That is, the people of peace, the still folk, or silently moving people. The name Sidhe, without doubt, refers to the peace or silence of fairy motion, as contrasted with the stir and noise accompanying the movements and actions of men. The fairies come and go with noiseless steps, and their thefts or abductions are done silently and unawares to men. Animals in the shape of cats, but in reality witches or demons, were called Cait Shìth, elfin cats." End quote. Cait Shìth can also be spelled C-A-T-S-I, which is the Irish spelling, C-A-T-S-I-D-H-E, and the plural form of the name is C-A-I-T-S-H-I-T-H. During the early centuries, it was thought that the Cait Shìth was a fae creature, but as the centuries passed, and witches became a more common belief during the late 1500s AD, the connection changed from fae creature to a witch in cat form. Regardless of fae or witch, the purpose and description of the Cait Shìth remained the same. Reading again from Gregerson's book, quote, "Elfin cats, Cait Shìth, are explained to be of a wild, not a domesticated breed, to be as large as dogs, of a black color, with a white spot on the breast, and to have arched backs and erect bristles." End quote. Still accustomed to this day, a wake is held before a person is buried. During this time, it is said a Cait Shìth would walk over unburied corpses, stealing the souls from the land of the living for passage to the land of the dead. This is not an uncommon belief. For example, in Slavic folklore, one way a corpse became a vampire was when any animal walked or flew over a grave, disrupting the passage of the soul. In order to stop the Cait Shìth from stealing someone's soul, a person could be buried right away, guarded before burial, or in the most popular method, and I apologize because I cannot say this correctly for the life of me, a fela fadala, also known as a late wake, would be held. People would stay up all night playing games, music, and talking, all in order to keep the Cait Shìth away. and probably to comfort one another as well. Fires could not be lit, as Kachi liked their warmth. Catnip would also be spread around to help distract the Kachi. Another belief surrounding the Kachi involves Samhain, a festival celebrating the end of the harvest season. In the West, this is also called Halloween. It is said that a saucer of milk needs to be left out for the Kachi. If done, the Kachi would bless your house. If left undone, the Kachi would curse your house, and the udders of your cows would dry up. In regards to Kachi being witches, it is said that when humans are not around, Kachi walk on their 2 hind legs. A witch can turn into a Kachi 9 times, but on the 9th time, the witch is stuck in cat form forever. It is speculated that this is the origin of the idiom, "a cat has 9 lives." That phrase is used in other ways today, including the seemingly indestructible nature of a cat. Scholars believe that a likely origin to the Kachi is the Scottish wildcat, now currently listed as critically endangered. When a Scottish wildcat mates with a domestic cat, a hybrid cat called the Kellis cat, after the village where it was first found, is born. Kellis cats are large black cats with green eyes and can have a white spot on their chests. Let's leave off with the most known short story of the Kachi, called The King of the Cats. It's a very short story, so let's read it together. The King o' the Cats. One winter's evening, the sexton's wife was sitting by the fireside with her big black cat, Old Tom, on the other side, both half sleeping and waiting for the master to come home. And sexton, by the way, is a person who looks after a church and churchyard. They waited and they waited, but still he didn't come, till at last he came rushing in and calling out, "Who was Tommy Tildrum?" in such a wild way that both his wife and his cat stared at him to know what was the matter. "Why, what's the matter?" said his wife. "And why do you want to know who Tommy Tildrum is?" "Oh, I've had such an adventure. I was digging away at old Mr. Fordyce's grave when I suppose I must have dropped asleep and only woke up by hearing a cat's meow," said Old Tom in answer. "Yes, just like that. So I looked over the edge of the grave, and what do you think I saw?" "Now how can I tell?" said the sexton's wife. "Why, 9 black cats, all like our friend Tom here, all with a white spot on their chestises. And what do you think they were carrying? Why, a small coffin covered with a black velvet pall, and on the pall was a small coronet all of gold, and at every 3rd step they took, they cried all together, 'Meow,'" said Old Tom again. "Yes, just like that," said the sexton, "and as they came nearer and nearer to me, I could see them more distinctly, because their eyes shone out with a sort of green light. Well, they all came towards me, 8 of them carrying the coffin, and the biggest cat of all walking in front for all the world like. But look at our Tom, how he's looking at me. You'd think he knew all I was saying." Go on, said his wife. "Never mind, Old Tom. Well, as I was a-saying, they came towards me slowly and solemnly, and at every 3rd step crying out together, 'Meow,'" said Old Tom again. "Yes, just like that, till they came and stood right opposite Mr. Fordyce's grave, where I was. When they all stood still and looked straight at me, I did feel peculiar, that I did. But look at Old Tom. He's looking at me just like they did." Go on, said his wife. "Never mind, Old Tom. Where was I? Oh, they all stood still looking at me, when the one that wasn't carrying the coffin came forward and, staring straight at me, said to me, yes, I tell ye, said to me, with a squeaky voice, 'Tell Tom Tildrum that Tim Taldrum is dead.' And that's why I asked you if you knew who Tom Tildrum was. For how can I tell Tim Taldrum's dead, if I don't know who Tom Tildrum is?" "Look at Old Tom! Look at Old Tom!" screamed his wife. And well he might look, for Tom was swelling, and Tom was staring, and at last Tom shrieked out, "What? Old Tim dead? Then I'm king of the cats," and rushed up the chimney, and was never more seen. The ecology and biology of a Kachi. The depiction shown is very accurate to the description given to us through the references. I love the connection to the special abilities of stealing the soul and bad luck. The cat walking on its hind legs with the moon in the background just completes the picture. The lore from the Pathfinder Monster Manual does a great job at incorporating history to produce the fantasy version of a Kachi. Let's use it in combination with history to flesh out the biology and ecology of our Kachi. According to the manual, Kachi are 2 feet or 0.6 meters long from head to tail and weigh around 25 to 30 pounds. or 11 to 13 kilograms. Depending on which direction we want to take our Cait Shìth, its lifespan could be based on the Scottish wildcat, a human, or a magical fae creature. The Scottish wildcat can live up to 15 years and reach sexual maturity around 10 to 12 months depending on male or female. An average lifespan for humans today is around 72 years old. As for fae, mythology and folklore have fae living anywhere from centuries to being immortal. What about its diet? Scottish wildcats are carnivores, eating rabbits, mice, and voles. And in our case, we can also add souls to the picture. Alright, there we go. Now let's see how Cait Shìths interact with their surroundings. Found in temperate climates, Cait Shìths roam the highlands and forests in solitude or in groups up to 9. Active mainly during the night, they hunt for small game like rabbit and mice, but will frequent graveyards in hopes of a soul snack. If Cait Shìths catch wind of any deaths, they will come and visit the wake in hopes to steal the soul of the recently deceased. Cait Shìths are mischievous by nature, cursing anyone with bad luck that gets on their nerves, or just for fun. Instead of curses, a blessing could be bestowed upon you if milk is left out for them, especially during Harvest End. Some say Cait Shìths are really witches in cat form, able to use the polymorph ability. Witches transform into Cait Shìths to more easily access souls to steal for whatever evil plan that they have devised. Lastly, Cait Shìths make great familiars, able to scout, spy, and deceive for valuable information. While not great fighters, their abilities grant utility that would be helpful in different situations. I always like to end each video by brainstorming some ideas together. It is helpful to look at other works where the Cait Shìth is used. Number 1, and probably the most popular, would be from Final Fantasy VII. Let's check out this clip from Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Some kind of toy?
Yoo-hoo, lads! Eyes up here! Cait Shìth, fortune teller extraordinaire! Put it there!
It's a toy, all right. Pretty lifelike, though.
Come on, pal. Give us a smile. The gold saucer's meant to be a happy place filled with happy people, don't you know?
Cait Shìth, as it seems to be announced in this case, has a Scottish voice actor, a crown on its head in reference to the King of the Cats, is black and white, though with more than just a white spot, can talk, and stands/walks on its hind legs. Final Fantasy VII draws elements from folklore and spins it into a fun, remote-controlled robot that gives vague fortunes. Number 2, Cait Shìth are also found as a race in Sword Art Online, the ALfheim online arc, adding ears and tails to humans. And number 3, a persona in the Persona series. Check out the little information box about it as well. The Cait Shìth has boundless opportunities, as it can be used in different avenues. Players can meet the King of the Cats for missions, events, and/or battle. Having a talking cat familiar can make for some comedic elements in any story. Having the cat actually be a witch could be a great detective case. I think it would be fun to make them bigger, as it is mentioned that they are as big as dogs. Making it the size of a panther would be pretty sweet. Taking the idea from Sword Art Online, the Cait Shìth could be a cat-like race that shares similar characteristics beyond just the ears and tail. Whether you take the historical side of the Cait Shìth or whip up something new influenced by it, its incorporation into your own works will definitely add a little something special for any cat lover. I hope this video was fun and educational. Be creative and find ways to incorporate the Cait Shìth in your own work. Like and subscribe if you're inclined to do so, and I will see you all in the next one.